Are you ready to entertain why you lost? Are you ready to stop debating amongst yourselves back and forth? Did we go too far, whether or not we went far enough? Are you ready to concede that indeed you went too damn far with the identity politics, with woke culture, with cancel culture? Are you ready to concede that? Censorship and deplatforming folks, embracing far left, unpopular policy positions. Are you ready to admit that all of that was wrong? You would need to, because right now you look like a party that's lost. And I know there's a bunch of liberals out there that are raising holy hell, looking at somebody like me and others saying we don't know what the hell we're talking about. You know what we do know? You lost. You know what we do know? You lost convincingly. You know what we do know? That you are now disempowered. You've been rendered practically impotent.
Oh, man. In a day and a time where you would think that Democrats would be trying to, rally the troops, garner a whole lot more support, scoop up as much as possible, bring everybody in, Democrats continue to push people further and further away. And it's honestly amazing to watch. Like, there needs to be like a full breakdown and a study on how the Democrat Party crumbled so terribly. So terribly. I mean, in light of losing an election that, of course, mainstream media tried their hardest to help you win, you lost not only the popular vote, but you lost every single swing state on top of that. Almost every county in America swung right from 2020. Every single one. In places where Donald Trump shouldn't have even been close, he came pretty damn close to actually winning in a place like Virginia, in a place like New Hampshire, okay? Republicans and Trump have taken a place like Florida that used to be somewhat of a swing state and turned it solidly red. Trump turned Miami-Dade County, where Miami is in Florida, and turned it bright red. And yet they still continue to push people away. This is amazing stuff. It really is. Oh, man, I can't wait for the documentaries to come out, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, the collapse of the Democrat Party and what happened. It's going to be amazing. And Stephen A. Smith is one of the latest folks that is coming out and saying, I don't know about those Democrats, man. I really don't. Let's dive in.
Welcome back, America. Stephen A. Smith. So could you see yourself seeing what you see now? And obviously, Donald Trump can't run for president again, but if he could, under the current circumstances, could you see yourself voting for him?
Quite possibly. I'm not going to sit up there and dismiss that anymore. I think we're beyond that. He would have to prove a lot, Mark. And I'm not talking about policy now. For a second, allow me to say this. What concerned me about Donald Trump and the reason I voted against him and voted for Kamala Harris was because I felt that he would be divisive, that he would create chaos because he demands such a level of loyalty and fealty to him. And that would take priority over governing our nation. That was my concern. And so I'm looking for both sides to work across the aisle from one another. Having said that, when you see some of the things that he said, if he follows through on some of the things that he has said, it's not just about eradicating inflation, improving the economy, obviously controlling our borders. These are all things that I care about, make no mistake about that. And I certainly would support him in that regard. But it can't be just about fealty to him and loyalty to him. It has to be about getting the job done on behalf of what's in the best interest of the American people.
And it's not about loyalty to him, because there's a lot of us who are more than willing to criticize Trump for anything that he does wrong. And I've said that time and time again. Like it, love it, or hate it, I'm going to always tell you the truth. But you can hate me all you want to, which I know you guys wouldn't, but I always say that because, listen, I'm going to tell the truth. Like, it doesn't do us any good to ignore a problem that's there simply because it has to do with Trump. Like, no. We speak about stuff like that over here. Trump isn't God. Okay? And nor do we treat him as such, even though Democrats try to make it sound and seem as if we do. Trump isn't above criticism. We don't pray at the altar to Trump. Like, come on now. Do I like Trump? Yeah, of course. But once again, he's not God at all. Not even close. Okay, so yeah, he can get criticized the same way anybody else can. So yeah, we don't treat our party leaders like that. Now on the Democrat side, you have to pledge party loyalty and allegiance, and you're not allowed to say anything negative about Democrats. And we've seen people find out about that. Stephen A. Smith should know. He's received a whole lot of criticism for saying even slightly negative things about the Democrat Party. Lindy Lee, has received a whole lot of criticism for saying stuff that's even slightly negative about the Democrat Party. You are not allowed to criticize the Democrat Party if you are a Democrat. You are ostracized. You are kicked out of the party. Period. Point blank. It's just facts.
As opposed to yourself, and not engaging in the kind of juvenile tendencies, tweeting all the time and going after people who are really much irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. You do things like that and you show that you're the adult in the room. Yeah. I don't think anybody could dismiss Donald Trump at this particular moment in time, not just because of him, but because of what we've seen the Democrats do. We're not falling for it any longer. The American people aren't falling for it any longer. I voted Democrat, and I got to tell you something right now. I don't like the fact that I did. I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't want to hear about, oh, we're about law. We're about a law. Nobody's above the law. Nobody's above the law. But then you go out and you pardon your son and you try to blame everybody else for it. I don't want to hear about defund the police. I don't want to hear about, what, there should be open borders. I don't want to hear this stuff. And I don't think most of the American people want to hear that. We're thinking about the state of affairs that's in. We're not about America only, but being about America and prioritizing what's going on in this nation with the desolate and the disenfranchised and everybody else in between, and looking out for the best interest of what it is for America. That is not a crime for an American politician or a commander-in-chief or a senator or a congressional figure to have that mentality.
And listen, I kind of agree with that. I'm not about America only. Okay, I am about America help a lot less, right? Because I do feel like we are spread thin. I mean, we're giving, and Trump actually revealed this to me, we're paying Canada. Why in the world are we giving a country like Canada money? Like, come on now. I could see, some of these other third world countries that need a little bit of assistance, a little bit of help here or there. All right, cool, fine. But that's after we help the American citizens first, okay? There should be no American citizens in the state of North Carolina that are still homeless, and we're sending money overseas. I'm period. If I'm Trump, and, I'm sure there's a lot of, red tape and, a lot of technicalities that come along with this, right? But I'm doing my best to cut off all dollars leaving the United States. All dollars. We aren't assisting anybody. Every dollar that was going this way, that 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 way, all those dollars right here. Boom. We gonna fix what's going on here first. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fix everything in this country first. And then maybe we could think about, you kind of need some help, but y'all can figure it out on your own. Y'all can figure that out too. Oh, no. Y'all need some help over here. So, yeah, here you go. Here's a little bit of cash to help right there. No, we're not sending you money anymore. You don't really need it. You just were trying to take advantage of us. Oh, looks like you guys legitimately need some help. So, we ain't gonna send y'all money, but we'll send some people over there to help figure out. Like, that should be the situation. Not just, oh, you want money? Here you go. You want money too? Here you go. Here you go. Oh, we're allies. Here you go. Here's some cash. Like, we just throwing money all over the place. Like, no. I ain't saying stop all helping, but we need to, in my humble opinion, we need to cut down on it. Like we way up here with it. We need to bring it all the way down. Okay. That's just my humble opinion. Y'all can let me know how you feel about it. All right.
I want them to have that mentality. So I think about things along those lines. And I'm no longer interested in, nor do I believe any of us should be interested in listening to a bunch of fear mongering to tell us who we shouldn't vote for. Why don't you come up with a plan that tells us why we should vote for you? That's what I'm interested in.
Ooh.
And if Donald Trump...
Ooh, that's on point right there, baby. That's so... See, listen, bro. This is why I be so confused about Stephen A, man. He'll say something like that. We don't want to hear any fear mongering about who we shouldn't vote for. Tell me exactly why I should be voting for you. I agree with that. Because that's all Democrats have been trying to do. Fear-monger, fear-monger, fear-monger. Oh, my goodness, it's going to be the end of the world. Ah, blah, 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 blah. Trump going to be a dictator. You're not going to be able to vote anymore. Blah, 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 blah. Trump's going to blow up the planet. He's going to start up World War III. Blah, 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 blah. You know, it's all a bunch of fear-mongering. That's all it is. It's never, hey, guys, this is what we feel like we can actually accomplish over the next 4 years for the American people. This is how these things are going to benefit you, okay? And so these are some of the reasons why you should be voting for us. It's never that, which is what Trump was doing. It's always the complete opposite. Blah, 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 fear-monger, fear-monger, fear-monger. So I 1,000% agree with that, man. Sheesh.
J.D. Vance, Byron Donald, Marco Rubio, or the host of other Republican candidates coming down the pike. That's the kind of message that they're going to put forth. I'm down for it. I'm open-minded enough to make sure that I entertain that from a policy perspective. That's what I want for the American people. That's what I want for this nation.
That's why we love you, my man. Now, one quick question. I don't have a lot of time left.
Sure.
You get this all the time. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Kind of a dumb question, but I like it anyway.
I got to tell you something right now. You can never count out Patrick Mahomes, the reigning two-time defending Super Bowl champion.
They be cheating for that, man. Oh, man. They be cheating for that, man. Okay. And I probably won't even be watching anymore because I lost my fantasy league. Goodness gracious. Terrible year this year. Terrible year this year in fantasy football. But anyway, back to the conversation at hand. It's quite amazing to hear somebody like Stephen A go from, where he was previously to, we're obviously not voting for Trump, not for Trump, didn't really even sound like he was like even mildly for Republicans, period, to, I'm kind of conservative. He would like slip a little something in there to now where he is, right? Yeah, I would vote for Trump. Byron Donalds, like he named somebody. Marco Rubio, no. Hell no to Marco Rubio. I would never vote for Marco Rubio. But J.D. Vance, Byron Donalds, oh yeah, come on, bring it. I mean, like, could you imagine like a Byron Donalds, J.D. Vance presidential ticket? Undefeated. They going 8 years undefeated, okay? Byron Donalds, J.D. Vance presidential ticket? Come on, baby. Come on. Bro, we could legit flip. Listen, you know what I think would be hilarious? And obviously Democrats care about skin color. So I think it would be absolutely hilarious if we had Byron Donalds as the president, J.D. Vance as like a vice, or Vivek Ramaswamy. Actually, that would actually be hilarious too. Or better yet, you know, really get them? Byron Donalds and Larry Elder on the same presidential ticket. Vice president, president, doesn't matter which one is which, right? The first all-black ticket. That would literally make their head spin because it would flip everything that they've been trying to do. Because whenever you criticize somebody black on the Democrat Party, they accuse you of being racist, especially if you're white. If you're white, you're not allowed to criticize a black person that's a Democrat. They oh my goodness, you're so racist, blah, 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 blah. So you know what I would do? The moment that they started criticizing Byron and Larry Elder, I would call them racist. I would just literally say the exact same things that they were saying to us and watch them like freeze up and So, quick story, and I'm gonna let y'all get out of here. I know someone, right? And I'm obviously not gonna reveal names or anything like that, because I'm sure people want to stay private. But I know someone that works with a bunch of leftists, like raving leftists. I mean, like people who, let me put this nicely, people that are like cuckoo, like leftists, like dye their hair, you know, like the whole nine. Y'all know what I mean. Like all in crazy leftists, and they have no clue what they're talking about. I almost revealed something, but I'm not gonna say that. So I was like, you should have us all meet up somewhere. Like, whenever you're hanging out with them, if you ever hang out with them, like, you should invite me. I'll come out. And like, I will mess their heads up so much, because I would say like, hey, I support Trump. And the moment that they criticize me, I would call them racist. And I would just love to watch their heads spin. I would say all the same things that they would love to say. Yo, I think that would be hilarious, man. I really do. Y'all, let me know if I'm crazy. Let me know if I'm crazy, but I think that would be hilarious. A Larry Elder, Byron Donalds, the first all-black ticket, and watch Democrats lose their minds when we flip everything on its head and we start calling them the racists and the horrible people, and they want to keep black people oppressed and all this other stuff. And no, I don't want them simply because they're black. Obviously, those two gentlemen are very well qualified, very, very well qualified folks to run the nation in this country. But like I said, I think it would be hilarious. Y'all let me know if you feel the same way. Man, would that be some entertainment right there. But anyway, thanks for tuning in as always. Merry Christmas. Hope it's a wonderful one for you all. Peace and love. I'm out.